today's world, it is often easier to live in a blissful ignorance than having to digest some of reality's horrid truths. However, the truths that are hidden the furthest in the darkness are the truths that most urgently needing to be brought to light. Imagine standing on your back porch enjoying the sunset. Off to the left, your attention is drawn to a gopher popping out of a hole. A moment later, you spot another one off to your right, then yet another just a few yards from where you stand. Suddenly you realize that what seems like a random gopher popping out of a random hole is actually a tunnel system connected via an elaborate network right below your feet. A network right under your nose, and you didn't even know it existed. That scenario does exist, only without the gophers and for the much more nefarious purpose of child sacrifice. The very old and demonic practice of sacrificing children to the Canaanite gods Baal and Moloch did not end in the Old Testament. Sadly, even today, ritualistic child sacrifice is practiced all over the world, including in our own United States. These practices are most often hidden, but at times are done quite publicly, only disguised as something different that we had just become accustomed. These instances that always seem random and unconnected are actually part of a widespread and well-organized network hidden in plain sight. Today, child sacrifice is connected within 7 areas that work both together and independently to promote, protect, and profit from this maniacal system. The first is child trafficking. This element fulfills both supply and demand while creating commerce avenues for all other circles. Number 2 is abortion. Make no mistake, these are child sacrifices, no different than the times of Baal, only now, by partnering with those traffickers, they have added the benefit of profiting off of body parts, stem cells, blood, and much more. The third element is the industry of child protection. Although I will say that not all of these organizations are corrupt, many of these services, both government and private, including law enforcement, courts, schools, hotlines, foster care, orphanages, and international organizations, play a vital role in the grooming, distribution, abuse, and trafficking of the children around the world. Number 4 is child abuse. This can be the grooming or indoctrination of a child. It educates a how-to for the other circles, creating physical or emotional trauma. 5 is the satanic ritual abuse. This incorporates mind control, both physical and emotional trauma, psychological manipulation, and the altering of DNA and genetics, while creating armies of unaware participants who are spread out amongst the population. The 6th element is pornography. This is the production of sexually explicit media, both adults and children. It not only creates a high amount of revenue to fund the other circles, but it creates a disconnection from commitment while desensitizing our views of what is normal and accepted behavior. And this is created to be easily accessible. It is spread and proliferates via the internet, creating addiction and highly increasing its demand. Number 7 is the deep state. This is the element that controls, funds, uses, regulates, propagates, and connects each of these circles by the way of corrupt government, both local, national, and international. It uses surveillance, our officials, laws, courts, regulations, international corporations, corrupt media, and our entertainment industries to glamorize, normalize, and desensitize the population to these practices. You may be aware of some of the ways that these 7 areas are connected, yet unaware of their real intent. An example is Planned Parenthood, which on the surface, at worst, appears to be a service which legalizes the murder of an innocent unborn soul. The reality is that these are sacrifices to not only depopulate the children blessed by God, but to profit off their organs, cells, and the blood of the innocent. The connections of abortion and child trafficking are symbiotic. The images of the children who are trafficked, abused, and forced to endure satanic ritual abuse are sold online, both on the dark web and the social media platforms that we spend hours on daily. Every aspect of the trafficking, abuse, rituals, and pornography are easily accessible at the touch of our fingertips. Sadly, these few examples are just the tip of the iceberg. The connections and examples are endless, each becoming more nefarious than the next. The saving grace is that our God is a just God who is bringing that darkness to light. In the past 3 years, we have witnessed the beginning of massive takedowns of the many facets of these networks. The root of these evils stem from the ancient worships of false gods such as Baal and Moloch. The altars of the false deities were never fully destroyed and always found a way to integrate back within our societies. Unless we acknowledge these horrid truths and destroy the altars and idolatry once and for all, we will never end the sacrifice and suffering of God's little lambs.